Okay, I'm going to try and answer the age old question: does God exist? To answer this question, let's first start with the elephant in the room, or should I say, the Big Bang in a void space with energy and a bright future, aka science. I mean, we all know that science is the biggest adversary to religion, right? According to science, everything came into being spontaneously, as perfectly balanced as it is, through a spontaneous explosion popularly known as the Big Bang, and created everything required for life to exist. From there, evolution took place over the course of millions of years to become what it is today, without a creator. The fundamental reason why science refused the existence of God is because God cannot be proven through scientific experiments. This felt hypocritical, and bear with me here. Science has numerous theories that are yet to be proven, such as quantum science and the Casimir effect, among others. And the most interesting of all is cosmology. What came before the Big Bang? These concepts are basically faith because they have not been proven by science. And this is the hypocrisy I have a problem with. I mean, how is faith in God any different from cosmology? Scientists have not proven cosmology the same way they can't prove the existence of God, and yet cosmology, among others, is accepted as a possible scientific fact, while the existence of God is ridiculed. Or is it because there is no scientist intelligent enough to theorize and experiment to prove the existence of God, so the alternative is to refute him? But I reconciled with the fact that I'm not a scientist, so maybe my logic might be flawed. Until the discovery of what seems to have been mermaid skeletons were made at the coast of South Africa. Up until then, science purported that mermaids were nothing more than mythical beings. However, this too felt insignificant because scientists could still classify those remains as something other than mermaids. Thus, it wasn't a valid reason to dispute what science is purporting. I mean, it's science. Science is never wrong. Well, except a dozen of other times when new discoveries disproved what was regarded as scientific fact. But other than that, science is never wrong. Planes were created just over 100 years ago. Additionally, in the 1500s, science and technology were still in their infancy stages. Thus, you would have been ridiculed if you suggested at some point in the future people would be able to fly inside flying machines, similar to how scientists ridicule the concept of a creator. Now, this made me pause and think, wait a minute. What if the inability to prove God's existence is limited by how advanced our technology is? Human beings have launched the space probes called Voyager 1 and 2 to explore our universe. Voyager will complete its journey long after the people who started it have passed away. Furthermore, it is important to note that scientific rules are not found in nature. They were created by human beings who, after millenniums of existence, are still unable to get out of their own universe. So what if science and technology advance enough to get to a point where God's existence can be definitively proven long after we are all dead? The more I thought about this, the more it felt like a gamble to not believe, especially considering the consequences. On one hand, science says when we die, we cease to exist. That doesn't sound bad, right? I mean, I die, nothing happens, and I don't even have to regret my decisions. Of course, this is coming from people who have never died before and who, according to their own rules, cannot prove what they are saying about what happens after death. On the other hand, if science is wrong, which it has been numerous other times, then a lot of people are in deep shit. This led me to my conclusion. To me, it seems like the existence of God makes more sense than a perfectly balanced universe creating itself. I mean, no one would believe a story about a person lost in the forest being saved by a spontaneous explosion that creates a car that drives that person home, despite the fact that this is the same logic being used to describe the creation of all existence, and somehow one sounds ridiculous and the other is a scientific fact. Science might be the explanation to how everything came into being. It does not have to negate the existence of a creator. So in conclusion, I believe it is more logical to accept that God does exist, an omnipotent God without partners, rivals, or offspring. Always keep in mind, scientific facts have changed over the years as a result of new discoveries. So science may one day accept the existence of God.
Been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same. as they were a year ago. But all will be okay, I move on each and every day.